Actually, you're supposed to start with "Hola, cage fighting aficionados."
Oh, I'm sorry. First, I should put my head in view again. I keep having trouble with that. Okay, so it's bonjour. No holds barred maniacs. I don't know, something like that. So this is Care Don't Care. Me and Eugene are gonna try to get through this because we've already screwed up 19 things even before the show started. We didn't have to say anything about that, but we're that honest. This is Eugene Robinson, author of Fight. Everything you wanted to know about ass kicking. You're afraid you'd get your ass kicked for asking.
Yeah, everything you ever wanted to know about asking, you were afraid to get asking for asking.
Isn't that what I just said?
You got it.
Everything you wanted to know about asking. Okay.
All right, so here we go. Disclaimer: crybabies, bedwetters, malingerers, work-shy individuals, greedy bread gobblers, chronic complainers. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a fighting or a human being and more to do with the marketing heft and weight that WME IMG has put behind you. You want to get off the don't care list, fight an exciting fight. Until then, don't come crying to us, crybabies, bedwetters. It's possible. It's possible. Look at Paul Felder, Bambosi, Diakese, Alex Oliveira, Chris Colliard Greens, Ali Akinta. It's happened before. Make it happen again. Anyway, let's start.
All right, so we got an event coming this Saturday, UFC on Fox. It's not a big UFC, it's kind of a crappy card, to be honest, people, for a UFC on Fox event. You think they'd put bigger names for the ratings, but I guess they're trying to load up pay-per-views to make more money. But we got a bunch of fights, so if you're, all you addicts out there, we'll give you some fights to watch. So the first fight of the night.
Yes.
On the preliminary card, we got a lightweight fight between Chris Wade and Frankie Perez.
Don't give a shit. And I know there's a guy sitting out there with his finger over. How could you nap on Frankie Perez? Don't you know that's not the point of the show. That's not the point of the show. Do not give a shit.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a rematch from a Ring of Combat fight years ago. Chris Wade. Yeah, I don't really care. I mean, listen, Chris Wade's a talented guy, but he hasn't broken into the next level. He's stumbled, and it's for trying to balance my time, and I have a lot of shit to do, as you can see, because we're already late on the show, how busy me and Eugene are. Yep. I don't have time for this, so we'll move on to the next fight. We got Shane Burgos versus this is where I'm going to screw up his name, even though I know who the guy is. Godofredo Pepe.
Yeah, I know who he is. But not enough for me to care, and almost because of Burgos, but not now. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not. Pepe's pretty. He's been a long time. He's actually been in the UFC for close to 10 fights, something like that. But he's just
he's got that unfortunate alt-right connotation now too with Pepe.
Yeah. I mean, he's put on a lot of good performances. I know he's won a lot of bonuses. That's where I remember him from. But it's not a big enough fight to get me to come in to watch the preliminaries. It's got to be something special to get me to tune in that early and stick that long in a card.
Well, and also this is sort of the interesting thing too, right? That you, I mean, my level of pay attention-itude happens as a result of people tweeting me like, Eugene, look now, this is a fight you cannot now pay attention. But the reality of it is, man, it's just not. No, sorry.
Yeah, but for me, it's two things. One, it's usually have an attachment because I know the guy so long. One, it's big fights. If it's number 1 versus number 2, I'm watching no matter what, how bad it is. Yep. 2, if I've watched the guy a long time and I'm so into his career, I'll still stick with him. And 3, if it's a guy on the rise and I go, okay, this guy looks like he's going. It's when the guys kind of peter out and they go 5-5 or 3-3 for a while. It's like, okay, you've lost that on the rise excitement that I had before.
Well, and also, I mean, think we do this in our real lives all the time anyway, right? I mean, if I'm going out to buy a car new, which I've never managed to be able to do you think I want the 10th best car? Is that really, I'm going to go out and say, nah, I know what Consumer Reports said. Don't give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want number 10. I mean, maybe that's the one I end up taking because that's all I can afford. But realistically speaking, which restaurant am I going to go to? Oh, that Michelin 1-star one? No. I mean, we're geared to alpha. That's the way it works.
Yeah, and there's also that excitement factor. At one point, everybody wanted to see everything Nicolas Cage did. After a while, it's like, all right, he's now batting 300.
Okay, the question is, when did Nicolas Cage die for you? I know very distinctly when he died for me. I can tell you the movie.
I'm going to say it's that Con Air period because that's when he started cashing in all the time. It was nothing but money.
I didn't mind Con Air, I have to say, but it was before then, Wild at Heart.
Yeah, but he did good movies after Wild at Heart. That's when he did. Leaving Las Vegas was after Wild at Heart.
Yeah, but at that point, I was highly like if you want to make a fight parallel, at that point, I was ready to call him a gict because it was parodic, and I don't think it called for it. I think it was a misstep that was an indicator of later missteps.
Yeah, I think it definitely was a movie where he got into his little spoof, his shtick. Yeah, he's like, okay, this is like him doing a Jack Nicholson impersonation. Almost, it was an Elvis impersonation, but the same idea. Like you're Christian Slater pretending you're Jack Nicholson all the time.
Which Christian Slater's built an entire career on that successfully.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like the Stevie Ray Vaughan is kind of a Hendrix interpreter, but God, you love Stevie Ray Vaughan because it's like he does it well. So
when you're imitating the gods of their profession, you can be step 2, 3 steps below, and it's still not bad.
Yeah, it's interesting that Brando has inspired people, but I don't think there are any people that you can say are direct antecedents, with the exception of Benicio del Toro, who I think
he's definitely got the Brando vibe. All right, let's stay on track. I can already feel Nate yelling off in some distant wilderness that we're not being focused.
Nate's not yelling anything because it makes him lose count of the money, so he's that.
See, this is where he really proves that he's the wealth, he's the upper class. Oh, I got people working for me now, and I don't have to do this show and make money. Look at that.
Yeah, right.
Heavyweight fight: Timothy Johnson versus Junior Albany.
now I'm always suspect with your name pronunciation because you got me into trouble with DeCasey. But no, I don't care about this.
You know what? I kind of do care about it. I just like Timothy Johnson. He's not. It's a heavyweight. He's not spectacular, but
No, I remember him.
But no, I don't care. I really don't care. It's not a fight that.
I mean, he's come to my attention, but as a prospect.
Yeah. I'm falling for the thing because since I've watched him a couple times, I'm kind of intrigued. But I tell you the truth, the fight doesn't send me.
Yep.
So, okay, the next one, we got a bantamweight fight between Brian Kelleher, yeah, I think it's pronounced Kelleher, and Marlon Vera. Kelleher, I'm obviously not familiar with. Bantamweight.
All right. I feel bad. I feel bad about what I've done so far. So I'm going to say I care about this one because these guys that both just have risen to the level of kind of like if I'm in the kitchen and I'm fucking around, somebody said, "Oh, Kelleher, I gotta go like that." I stick my head out and kind of look out for you on the radio. I'm kind of leaning in, like kind of half interested. So I'm going to say care on this one.
Honestly, let's see. Is it the last fight of the prelims? It's second to last. It's hard to care. The only thing I'd care about is I guess the Brian Kelleher. I think he's undefeated in the UFC or something like that. Yeah. He's only had one fight, but I gotta be honest. I don't care. Don't care.
All right. So then I'm gonna put down my pick. Is Kelleher? Okay. All right. All right, okay. We got no action on it, but that's all right. I'm on the books.
Okay,
I'm unburdened.
You're on the books. Yeah, I gotta be very judicious with my picks because last time I fell apart and lost to you. So I gotta be only the ones I'm confident on.
There you go.
You gotta play the game. Gotta think.
Start strong, finish stronger.
Game theory here, people.
There you go.
I don't know what the fuck that's Eryk.
Yeah, some mugshot bullshit.
Okay, so we got featherweight fight. Kyle Bochniak, I think you pronounce that name as. Now I'm questioning my pronunciation on everything because I'm feeling self-conscious. and Jeremy Kennedy.
No, I don't care.
Really? I don't. It's a
See, now, I'm hearing the clicking, and I think it's a sign that if you got 2 or 3 clicks to get to the fighter's name, that pretty much is a sign, man.
No, I know who these guys are. I'm trying to decide if I care or not. I'm looking, actually, I was looking at what's the fight that comes next. I was trying to get back to the page.
Okay.
So that's because it was decided. To me, it's often like, am I going to leave the room or not?
Yeah.
And I think this is good enough that I don't give a shit. Okay, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna watch it. I got other stuff to do that day. So
yep. Somebody's the D man is describing Fredo Pepe, the Trump Jr. of fighters. I'm smart.
Yes, Fredo Trump Jr. He's the upper class twit of the year nominee. That's
great. All right.
Okay, so we got heavyweights. Damian Grabowski, Chase Sherman.
Almost because of Chase, not enough. And I've gotten in trouble picking blindly for the home team. The Polish Princes. It's not really necessarily worked out well for me. Even though that Travis Brown pick was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
Wasn't it incredibly?
That hurt.
Yeah,
that hurt. I did get over him right though.
Yeah, you did. You did that.
And
that
I'm also feel really happy now that Verdum, Kadyrov. That's how you say his name, Kadyrov. Yeah. I feel better now that Verdum lost because he stands by. He's like tweeting how great he is. Oh, I can't wait to go to hang out with you again or something. You're the greatest supporter ever.
Yeah. Well, as long as he doesn't get caught with errant sausages, he's fine. He gets caught with some errant sausages. He's in a cinder block basement chained to a chair. MMA won't come in so handy then.
Yeah, the heavyweight fight I'm not too interested in. Grabowski hasn't really sent me on. He hasn't set the UFC on fire. So Ryan LaFlare versus Alex Oliveira.
Yes, care.
I do too.
All right, you got a pick?
I'm gonna let you go first because
I've been oh man, I want to go with LaFlare, but then I make a mistake. I mean, I'm kind of like I got juked a couple of times by Oliveira, which is a definition of gicked here. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Oliveira.
Damn. Okay, that's my pick too.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think he's faced better competition, have much more confidence in his. He's beating Will Brooks and stuff. He's beating guys.
That's right. I mean, he was a don't care that moved to care. So
he's a guy I never would have paid attention to like a year ago. And he's beating some people. Like, okay, I should start focusing on this guy. So that's one fight we care about both. Then next fight's a middleweight fight. Rafael Natal versus Eryk Anders.
Also known as Rafael Natal.
Rafael, yeah. I didn't do my Portuguese. I'm sorry. Listen, it's Renzo Gracie. It's Rory and Gracie, people.
I care. And I'm going to, against my better judgment, pick Natal.
Really? You're picking Natal? This is a chance for me to make a move. So I got to be careful about this. But I'm... Shit, I don't know. Anders has he fought anybody at all in the UFC? This is his first UFC fight, right? He hasn't fought anybody.
Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I'm taking Anders. Anders.
All right, good for you. We got some action. All right.
We got something. We gotta make him. I gotta make a move. Otherwise, you gotta take risks. Otherwise, you never catch up.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Okay, next one. Lyman Good, old Lyman versus. I'm never gonna pronounce his full name, but Dos Santos. I'll take the last.
This a help, man. There's so many fucking Dos Santos.
It's Elizeu Zaleski Dos Santos.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't want to. Sorry, Elizeu Zaleski. If I butchered your name, I apologize.
I care, but not quite enough to make a pick, which means fundamentally I don't care.
I kind of care because of Good. Just because of Good. If I followed him enough in his career,
I know, but again, is it passing the kitchen test?
It's right before the main card, so I'm gonna sit and watch that.
Yeah. I guess you would.
I would already. So you don't have, but I'll take it. I'll pick this one. I'm taking Good just because he's all right. His career's I think been more.
So we can match this. This will counter. I'm gonna blank on that one, and this will counter my Kelleher pick. So this is if it right.
This will be the one. Yeah, this will be kind of our. Right. We could tie in that though. This could be a tie.
So non-performance is no excuse. If you don't make a pick and the other guy picks and that pick is right, that accrues to his benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I forgot someone was bugging us that Nate was supposed to send me his picks from last week to keep you honest. I don't know how. You must not have done good last week. So.
Nate, that guy's slippery, man.
You think he's changing it when he's not around. Okay, we're finally to the main card on Fox. Well, the preliminary card was on Fox too. So again, I don't know why they have a main and preliminary. It's the damn same card. It's just one big card. But we got Jimmie Rivera versus Thomas Almeida. God, I know how to pronounce that. I don't know why I'm overpronouncing it.
Yep, I care.
Oh yeah, I care too. I mean, I'm not monstrously excited, but it's a decent fight.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Rivera. Thomas.
Yeah,
I'm Jimmie, not Thomas. I'm gonna go with him. I mean, I think he's looking good. He's on a streak. He's my guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick him as well. I've been a fan.
Yeah, Faber's old, but he's still a good notch on your belt.
Okay, Rivera.
Okay, here's a next fight, light heavyweight, Patrick Cummins versus Villante, Gian Villante.
Oh, yo. Yeah, this is a care.
Really?
But this is a tough one, man.
See, I don't care about this fight that much.
Really?
It's just, yeah, these two guys kind of petered out. They're not.
That's why, man. That's why you get the guys. I mean, these guys are watching shit fly away from them. Plus, Villante has got he's worried about seats for his mother, his brother, his father, his high school teacher. He's local boy trying to make good. He's got all that shit on his head. Plus, he's got the whole mist in the wood pile and then other dude Cummins is, God smiled at him, brought him in as an alternate with the whole DC thing, and then he got pasted. What was his last fight? Who was it?
Yeah, he's got pasted the last several, if I remember right.
Yeah. So
not. Well, actually, no. He won his last one, but I think the one before
is the one I'm thinking about.
He lost like 3 of his previous 4 or something like that.
Something. And
he's like 3-2 in his last 5, or 2-3 in his last 5 fights.
I'm gonna have to pick Villante on this one. I just the whole the New York thing. I'm just gonna have to go with that.
You've convinced me to care, because there is something interesting. Is these are the type of guys that they're not going anywhere. They're not even fighting really for CB Dalloway journeyman position. They're fighting just to stay in the UFC.
So they're fighting so they don't have to go back to fucking personal training.
They're fighting so they don't have to try to find a job at some sort of construction site.
Yep.
Something shit. You go back.
Even though John Villante, if I remember correctly, had some sort of trait, like he was a fireman or some shit. I could.
Oh yeah, maybe and Cummins was working at a Starbucks, which I always thought was mean that people would rag on about that, because it's like it's a job.
Yeah.
People got to take. Today's people got to do it. But I'm gonna go with Cummins.
Oh, so we got some action there too.
I don't know. I will tell you the truth. I don't know who won, but I think Cummins. Villante seems to lose a lot more. Put it that way.
He's been around longer, but you don't underestimate. He's trying. Anyway, I don't think it'll work against him. That he's there.
Yeah, this to me that's a coin flip fight. Who knows? Okay, we got another one coming up. Next is featherweight Dennis Bermudez. Versus Darren Elkins.
Yeah, I care.
Yeah, I care too. I'm not.
Man, I'm tempted to pick Bermudez, but I've been fucked by this guy before.
Oh, you should take Bermudez. I'm telling you, Bermudez. I think you should take Bermudez.
Yeah, you're not gonna Princess Bride me on this one. Let me clear my head for a second, though. Let me say, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. The guy.
Because you're taking my pick. I'm taking Elkins.
Yeah, I've been screwed over fewer times by Elkins, so I'm all right with Elkins.
Yeah, that's though I think Bermudez has more talent, but I just think he's not going to pull through. He's on a downwards.
Well, I don't know how often it can be said, but it should be said. Somebody should pay attention about the correlation between gichthood, inexplicable losses, and the head factor. And I just, I'm sure it factors in, but I haven't thought about it in a really coherent way. Like suddenly why somebody who's as talented as Bermudez just starts blanking. Why does that happen? And I have to think that the head game is a major portion of it, but it's hard to quantify, so nobody talks about it really. But I mean, I don't know if you read that profile, and I think it was Bleacher Report on John Jones, where he talked about him growing up, and his Arthur Jr., his older brother said, you understand the thing about John that's maybe different from some fighters is that he just losing is just never a possibility for him in his head, just because he grew up with us, a younger brother fighting an older brother. He was absolutely gonna, and I realized that with my kids. I train jiu-jitsu with my kids. I'll get them in something that would easily a normal person would tap to, and they're just like not gonna. And so it's got to the point where it's like, I'm not gonna hurt my daughter. I'll put the hurting on them, but I'm not going to, irrevocably hurt them to get them to tap, but they absolutely positively will not tap.
See, they know your limits. They're taking advantage of that. You got to hurt them. You got to show them who's boss.
Well, I'm pushing it.
Helio Gracie didn't break the arms of his kids. I'm sure he tortured this kid. That's how it's done.
Yeah, maybe, but you could it's just like crazy. It's like, nah, man. So.
I just can't take Bermudez because he beat the Crusher, Kawajiri, and I still hold that against him. And
Kawajiri had it coming.
No, one of my all-time favorites, and it's just I don't think he wasn't a worthy enough opponent to beat him. Sorry, Bermudez.
Okay, so who's your pick?
My pick is Elkins.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
So Bermudez, right?
No, I got Elkins.
You took out, yeah, you went that whole thing to wait. So, that's why I was all upset to begin with.
Okay.
I was too busy thinking about breaking your kid's arms. That was too vicious a thought.
No.
That's why I don't have kids, because I would torture them mercilessly. I would.
No, well, I grew up with that. You know, it's like my stepfather, like my mother would say, "Why don't you let him win every now and then?" And my stepfather would go, "What kind of message would that send?" So that's why I ended up being such a fucking competitive lunatic. Yeah, no.
There's that. Well, yeah, my dad just said, "Yeah, good. You know, don't lose. If you lose, don't come home." No, he was pretty forgiving about that.
Yeah.
Okay, next we got the main event. Your favorite fighter of all time, Chris the Woodman, Weidman.
The question is yes, we care, right? We care.
Yeah, actually, well, I partly don't care because I care. I don't care as much as I should for a main event of a Fox card because.
No, I care in a really major way. The question in my mind is, how many seconds are we going to actually act like our pick is in question? Right? Like we're gonna talk and then we're gonna draw it out and save it at the end. We're gonna talk about the pros and cons. Like we actually believe that fucking Weidman has got something to say.
Well, the truth is Weidman should have something. What's the?
I don't know. I got some Brazilian guy who's doing some kind of
now I'm tripping. I'm tripping balls because I'm seeing the infinity effect there.
So yeah, the feed is also going back to Rio. So yeah. This is Lucas Costa. Yeah, we're alive now, man.
You just interrupted a live program.
He wants to do his striptease. Come on. Yeah, this is what I got to put up with, right? I'm just worried about him kicking out the cord. That's mostly what I'm worried about. So, so we could drag it like, oh man,
but we could drag because Weidman technically, if you look at Weidman's career and who he's fought and who he's beaten, and you think he should have a shot and he should be,
according to Weidman, he's one of the best fighters in the world.
That's a healthy attitude to have. I don't know if it's. I mean, but the people he's lost to are basically 1, 2, and 3 in the.
And actually, in actual fact, I find myself wanting to counter myself. It's like, I think it's safe to say it's not a fucking wash, right? I mean, it's not a just because a guy's head. because a guy's head is shot. I mean, even a blind mouse gets lucky every now and then. But I think that, I mean, it's his hometown. Dude is fighting for his life, getting teaching seats for high school teach. In other words, I guess what I'm trying to say is never underestimate the drive of a desperate man.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with your favorite guy, Weidman. He's getting out of the woods this fight. I've talked myself into actually right now thinking about it.
I really respect that pick, man. And I actually was sitting at home the other day thinking, like, I see things, and I was like Weidman, but I just can't. It was like one of those things, like I just can't conceive of it. Like when any movie that has aliens in it, they're always humanoid. Even Arrival, they look like an octopus, which is not humanoid, but it was from the realm of recognizable images that are stored, theories of knowledge that are stored in our brains. In other words, if it exists outside of our realm of understanding, therefore our knowledge that we don't have, so we can't create aliens that we can't create, right? We can't conceive of it. So I don't know. I can't.
I'm too busy thinking about trying to think of new aliens right now to think about the fight.
Well, and any basis that you use is going to be recognizable. I mean, this is why Nazism was so fucking perfect, because they took the template of humans and just archetyped it, right? Of course, they went about it all wrong, which you would have figured somebody like Himmler, a fucking chicken farmer, would have known. Hybrid vigor is the key to a fucking healthy species. You fucking interbreed chickens, man. You don't have many generations before you got 2-headed chickens, right? Anybody paying attention to their chickens who was a chicken farmer would have known that. Hybrid vigor is how you build better species. But they took the archetype issue and, but it was still based on this template of humankind, you know, and which was amusing because none of them fit that archetype. They weren't blonde, they weren't blue-eyed, they weren't tall or healthy. It's kind of comical. It was wish projection on their part, but and that's where we are with this fucking Kelvin thing. I mean, I want to wish project my way into seeing a Weidman win, but I can't really do it. No matter how I put my head around it.
I'm gonna give you my argument, Rick, and you tell me this will convince you. My thing is Kelvin, as good as he's been at middleweight, his 2 performances at middleweight were against a Tim Kennedy that was, you know, off for a long time, basically getting ready to leave the sport, and had a bump from his training camp was completely interrupted and screwed up, and his opponent changed opponent. And the other person he beat was Vitor Belfort, who's a shell of what he was even a couple of years ago. So it's 2 middleweight wins. The Belfort one was overturned because I guess he's a raging drug addict with the weed. Yeah, that's unallowed in MMA to smoke a joint. But anyways, those 2 fights is he's won at middleweight, but those don't prove to me that he's that great a fighter at a weight class above where he was fighting before.
I don't know, man. I mean, you know, again, let's go back to the head factors and the fact that he's the numbers in Vegas are favoring Kelvin. Not that helps Kelvin, but it fucking definitely has got to hurt Weidman. You know, he's got to think about that. Now, he could be one of those guys. He could be one of those, I'll show you guys. I've been one of those guys. Like, I like, you know, I need a little pushback. And those words precisely have crossed my mind more than once. I'll show you. Oh, yeah. You think you're better than me? I'll show you. So, you know, it depends. Some guys secretly, they face to face with that face, they fold. At this point now, I think we can healthily admit it's not about abilities. It's about those intangibles, you know, and those intangibles. Weidman hasn't saying stuff doesn't make it so, you know.
I'm going to stick with why he's getting out of the, he's getting off the wood pile. He's no longer chopping woods out.
John. Suddenly I can't find John. He's enveloped in mist himself.
Well, you know, maybe after this card, if I do terrible again, I'll be like the Lost Battalion of Pickers. You know, like,
John all of a sudden
doesn't realize he's so bad at this. He doesn't realize he's lost in the Lost Battalion of don't care pickers.
Fucking John is like laughing. He's like, hey, what's Chris doing here? No.
So what you're saying? If you ever get caught in a fog and you look and Chris is there next to you, you know, like, holy fuck, I know where I am. I've wandered into the
exactly, man. Just sit down.
It's like a Twilight Zone thing.
Exactly. No shit.
No fuck. That would be. So how many picks do we even have on this? We have 4. I think.
Well, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 7 apiece, but we don't have all the same 7.
So this will be interesting. We have a good chance we tie or I get blown out. That's the 2 options.
Actually, it's an interesting series of picks because we only have action on 3, right? Which means we deviate 1, 2, 3 times. So this could be made by
best of 3 series.
The non-picks, or also I guess it could be also made by our same.
It's going to be decided by Gastelum Weidman. That's going to be the deciding factor. That fight will be everything. We'll be going into that last fight. We'll be tied, and then we'll be waiting to see what happens on that pick.
Could be. I'm so close. I'm emceeing Ozzy Fest in New York, so I'll be on stage when the fight's happening. But it'd be tempting to just. Nah, I can't even joke like that. Hey, where's Eugene? He dropped the mic. He's run out to Long Island. But
I'm just happy they're early because I get to go to see, like, I think they're playing. What are they playing at the Egyptian? I was going to a movie at the Egyptian Theater this weekend. I can't remember what it is though.
What state are you in? Where are you?
I'm in L.A., California.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you've told me this. Okay.
I live right in Hollywood, so I hang out with all the.
You hang out with Axl Rose.
No. I hang out with, like.
You know where you are?
Yeah.
You're in the jungle, baby. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that was LA when I first got here. It's a little. Yeah. It's now my neighborhood's gentrified, which I'm happy for.
Yeah, good for you. All right, okay, I gotta go, man. We started late, so I gotta go.
Oh yeah, I guess the only thing was where can you watch it? Preliminary card, UFC Fight Pass, and then the rest of the day spend staked down for your TV on Fox. That's it. All right.
And so go below this link of the show. Give us a thumbs up if you like the show. If you don't like the show, give us a thumbs up. You can listen to follow John on Twitter at at Hey Not the Face.
Yeah, that's funny.
How do you like? Man, I'm like, it's almost like I'm a professional. Or me at Eugene S. Robinson, and I'm on Instagram as Mr. Sleep 3. However, if you have no post or you block you, I gotta see you first, and I think I gotta assume you're a spy, so I won't let you in. So that's still gated. Mr. Sleep 3 on Instagram is still gated, but Instagram or the Twitter, I let anybody in now at this point. So.
Twitter's not so special, apparently.
Yeah,
I felt so special when I got followed by Gene on Twitter.
Well, that was a while ago. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, anything else? What are we for? Oh, no. buy Oxbow's Thin Black Duke. Yeah, that's it.
Get that. Good album. All right. I got to go to work.
All right, man. Later.
Talk to you later, man. Take care.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye.